An international non-governmental organization that conducts advocacy for the responsibility to protect has urged the new administration of President Ramaphosa to re-engage with the world on a human rights basis.
Simon Adams, who leads the Global Center for the Responsibility to Protect, has called for the country's new leadership to change course.
The centre believes that South Africa lost its way after the post-1994 era, when the country was regarded as a champion for human rights.
His organization's focus is to stop mass atrocities and help states build capacity not only to prevent them, but to intervene where and when appropriate. He has also lived and worked in South Africa, no less as a former member of the African National Congress.
I think there's a lot of us who would like to see South Africa re-engage with the whole world of human rights and the whole world of conflict resolution. And I think South Africa has a very proud record in the Mandela era of being very involved in a hands-on way in the resolution of conflicts. And I think Burundi is a really obvious case in point in which Mandela got personally involved. Well, Burundi's in trouble again. You know, I would love to see South Africa become a more active player and be a more consistent champion for human rights and conflict resolution in the world.
He pointed to the process underway in the country of withdrawal from the International Criminal Court as a case in point.
Sovereignty entails responsibility as well. Sovereignty is not a license to kill. It's not a wall which you can construct around your country and say anything we do inside here is our own business. And I actually, again, I'm not South African myself, but I joined the anti-apartheid movement in the 1980s precisely because we did not see apartheid as a South African domestic issue. We saw it as an international issue. We saw it as a crime against humanity. And so I think the finest traditions upon which the ANC is grounded and in which a democratic South Africa is built has been precisely in saying that some things are unjust and are wrong.
So there's a new president in charge. He's appointed a new cabinet. What is it you seek from this administration from an international perspective?
Leadership is all important, and I think in many ways who's at the helm, whether they be Thabo Mbeki, Nelson Mandela, Jacob Zuma or Cyril Ramaphosa, makes a huge difference to the sort of organization that the ANC is. And there's all the talk about collective leadership and so forth, but there is also a sense of leadership on these issues. And certainly I think, you know, when I go back to the issues that I'm very involved in, mass atrocities in the world and the need to stop them from happening and the need for the international community to uphold its responsibility to protect people. These are ideas which Cyril Ramaphosa was literally involved in creating in 2001. He helped coin the phrase responsibility to protect. He was on the intergovernmental panel which made sure that this was adopted by the UN. I think that's a very important thing. I think that's a medal which he should wear on his chest. And so I'm certainly hoping that he will be much more of a leader, both in South Africa and on the global stage, who's able to push these kinds of agendas around not just the defense of sovereignty for sovereignty's sake, but sovereignty as responsibility and human rights first.
South Africa urgently needs.
Adams also welcomed the appointment of Lindiwe Sisulu as the country's chief diplomat, noting her interesting family pedigree from a political era he hoped would be echoed in the current administration. Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.